Thank you very much, Mr. Owen. It is a particular pleasure for me to be able to address you in the language of heaven here in Westminster for the first time. And this truly is a historic occasion, that it is possible to speak in a debate in a language other than English, and this for the first time in 800 years. This is entirely appropriate, Mr. Owen, since Welsh was spoken across Britain long before the Westminster Parliament or the English language existed. Outside of Wales, it is not widely understood that the names of cities far north, such as Edinburgh and Glasgow, come from the Welsh language originally. I also wanted to speak in Welsh today as a tribute to the late Rhodri Morgan, who was my predecessor as MP for Cardiff West and the former First Minister of Wales. This is the first Welsh Grand Committee meeting since his sudden death last May. In the 90s, Rhodri was a pioneer in pushing to change the rules so that the Welsh language could be used when the Welsh Grand Committee met in Wales. And I'm sure that if he were here today, he would have several amusing anecdotes to tell us in both languages. Now, the debate today is in relation to last autumn's budget and its impact on Wales. Of course, there is some extra money for Wales as a result of the Barnett formula. But the fundamental problem is with its lack of vision at a time when ambition is needed. Now, I think that this is as a result of having a weak Prime Minister and a Chancellor with all the excitement of the English rugby team. And that is a comment that I hope I will not be regretting after next Saturday's match at Twickenham. Before the autumn budget, I wrote to the Chancellor regarding the future funding of S4C. Over recent years, S4C has faced brutal cuts from this government, and any further cuts would endanger the quality of the service. I wrote to the Chancellor expressing concerns after hearing that S4C could be facing cuts of up to £9 million over the next 3 years, and I asked for a promise that no such cut would take place. In their response, the government said that they were, and I do quote, committed to the future of Welsh language broadcasting and supporting the valuable service S4C provides. However, almost 2 months since that letter from the Treasury, and over 2 years since the independent review of S4C was originally announced, the review still has not yet been published. That is unacceptable. Today, I am calling on the government yet again to publish this independent review and to offer S4C fair funding. I am afraid, Mr. Owen, that all too often culture and the arts are seen are cuttable. The Welsh Labour government is trying to shield Wales from the effects of Tory austerity. However, without enough money, this is a very difficult task. S4C is crucial to the future and to reaching the goal of 1 million Welsh speakers by 2050. Mr. Owen, years of austerity have failed. All of the cuts were meant to be for a purpose, which was to pay off the deficit by 2015. Now, the government said that the cuts would be worth the pain. A child born in Wales in 2010 could have gone to school, finished university, and started a family of their own by the time that the government achieves this. The government said that the debt would be gone before the child started infant school. And this is a complete failure, and that is due to the old-fashioned financial orthodoxy. The fact is that it is not too much spending on Welsh schools or Welsh hospitals that caused the economic problems of 2010. Rather, they were caused by irresponsible gambling by greedy bankers. The answer was not to cut spending so savagely as to hurt the economy, but rather to invest for wealth creation in the future. This in roads, in rail, housing, schools, colleges, universities, and in hospitals, digital infrastructure and clean energy. Therefore, we looked hopefully, if not in expectation, for the Chancellor to lose his sobriquet spreadsheet fill and to announce a plan for national renewal that would help to build the Wales of the future, and that in partnership with the Welsh Government and businesses, with the local government and communities, and so forth. Perhaps he would show confidence by announcing his support for the Swansea Tidal Lagoon project or additional funding to electrify the main line to Swansea, or to help create the metro in Cardiff and the valleys, or to help build the houses that we need to bring jobs and homes. But instead, what we got was tinkering around the edges. Mr. Owen, Wales needs and deserves better from this government and from this Chancellor. We now face the danger of Brexit, which I am sorry to say that a majority in Wales voted for, although Cardiff did not do so. But my appeal to the Secretary of State for Wales today would be this. Don't be content to be a mouthpiece for economic orthodoxy. Don't be content to sit at the cabinet table admiring the view. Rather, fight and fight again for investment in Wales and for a fair future for everyone in Wales. Thank you very much.